Hi, my name is Megan Martineau, and I am teaching the class for photography for tweens between the ages of 9 and 13. This is through the Bolden Fields Arts Academy, and I'm so excited to teach your kids about lighting and how to use manual settings on a cell phone for their camera and all the cool things that we're going to be doing. So today I'm going to give you a demonstration on how we're going to build our mini studios. But first I'd like to share with you some of the supplies that we're going to be using in this class. So the first thing we're going to be doing is we need a foam board. And this is, I think it's like a 16 by 24. So that size is what you're gonna need for that. And then a poster board, and I have this rolled up, and the reason I have it rolled up is because we're going to be cutting the corners here, so we have a background that goes all the way around, a wrapping background. We'll need a paper plate in order to be able to trace that, just like that and that. We'll need this particular lamp, and this lamp is going to be included in the description for this video. It's an LED lamp, and it has 3 different settings. It has natural light, it has fluorescent light, and it has lamp light. So you have different lights or colors to choose from, and then you can either intensify it or dim it. One of the reasons why I choose to go with this particular lamp is because we'll be able to use wax paper without it melting. We'll also be able to use aluminum foil, and that will come later in the class. Today we're just going over the basics of really what we need. And I worked really hard to be able to use household items in order to create this class, and there are a few other products that you might want to go to Amazon for, and I'll be sharing those with you in just a moment. So the first thing that you want to do, whether you're using a tablet or you're using a cell phone, a smartphone, you're going to want to go to the App Store and pick out the app Manual Camera 4, and it's $3. So we're going to be able to learn the basics of photography with this. So that'll be fantastic for your kids. I know you're excited. All right, so another thing that we need is a photo box. In this box, you can get it like Michael's or Joann's, and you're supposed to store photos in it, like 4x6s, but I'm using this for a completely different reason, because we want to hold all of our smaller items in here. So another thing that we're going to need is painter's tape, and it's really important that you get painter's tape because it'll come off without ruining the paper on either the floor, which is the foam board, or the poster board. So it's really important to have it. To help anchor that, we're also going to be using the kneadable erasers used by artists, and you can get this at Michael's or you can get it through Amazon. All right, we'll need a pair of really heavy-duty scissors. We're going to need a Murphy knife, and when we're doing this part on our first class, we'll need mom or dad to help with this because these are really sharp. Speaking of sharp, you'll need a Sharpie. I'm using my silver one because that's my favorite. A pencil. And I'm going to show you guys a little bit about how we're going to be using these wooden figures. And these are usually used by artists who are learning how to draw human bodies. So we've got a dad, a mom, she's really short, and a kid. So those are all the things that we're going to be needing, okay? And so the first thing we're going to do today, let me go ahead and put everything back in here that we're not going to be using today. Oops, I need this. I don't need this. I'm going to put this over here, okay? All right, so the very first thing that we want to do is we're going to create curves on the back here, because what we want to do with this poster board is to make it wind around. That will give it stability And then we're going to use this to kind of anchor it between the surfaces. Okay, so we're going to use the Sharpie, and we're just going to create a curve like so. Oh, let me move all this stuff over here. And then we're going to do another one right over here. Let me move this out of the way so I don't mark that up. And perfect. All right, we're going to put the cap on. And we're going to get the Murphy knife. So we're done with the plate. All right, so we're going to need mom or dad's help, or an adult. And we're just going to kind of poke along here to cut into the surface. I know this is a little bit noisy because I have a folding table here. Or you can do it like this. You can drag it along. All right, that's not perfect, but that's okay. And see how it bends a little bit? All right, so let's do the left corner again. And I can hear it going through. Whoops. And you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. I feel like Mr. Rogers saying that, or Bob Ross. All right, so that popped right off. As you can see, we have a nice curve. All right, let's just put that over here. And we're gonna do this one more time, just to get to the other end. Oh, and that time it just popped right off. So those are some things that you, so now we're done with the Murphy knife. Okay. Now, before the class starts, we're going to, I would love for you to roll up your poster board and make sure that it's curvy, because as you can see, we are going to be wrapping it all the way around like that. However, we don't want it this tall. So let's go ahead and cut this probably about 2/3 of the way up, okay? And so I'm just gonna go straight across. You wanna have really good scissors. So again, safety scissors are not gonna work here. Since we're working with tweens, pretty sure that tweens can handle this part with a good pair of scissors. Don't use your mom's fabric scissors. Don't use those, because that would not be good. Okay, so we're just going to put this over here, and let's take a look and see what we've got. Oh, that looks so good. All right, so now what we want to do is use the painter's tape. Now I've already pre-cut my tape, and so what we're gonna do, so sometimes you have a sticker or whatever. Let me see if that comes off. Oh, look at that, it does. Yay. Okay. But we want to use the really smooth side, okay? And as you can see, it curves all the way around. So what we're going to do is we're going to take tape, and we're going to create how the base for this. And so what I've done is I've pre-cut painter's tape, and it's probably about 6 or 7 inches long. And so what we want to do is we want to put most of the length of the tape, as you can see here, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to line that straight edge, those 2 straight edges up together. Now we're going to pick it up. We're going to wrap it around. And we're going to make sure that's nice and tight. All right. So let me show you the other side. So as you can see, it's right here. And the magic of painter's tape is that you can take it off without it ruining the surface, because we're also going to be working with a dark background. Okay. All right, so we're going to, so do you see how we've got some straight here? So we want to do one more right at that curve, okay? And so we are going to, right before the curve, and do that. Make sure that's on really tight. And put that right here. And then we're going to do that to the same area over here, right before the curve, and see how that looks. All right, so as you can see, we have got the tape like that, okay? I'm gonna flip this over so we can take a look and see how this is coming along so far. That looks pretty good, except that, there we go. So we don't want the paper to be on top of the board. We want it to be wrapping around the edge, okay? Whoops. All right, see how that looks? That's pretty cool, right? Okay, so here's the tricky part. We want to tape the ends first, okay? So we're gonna take our piece of tape and we're going to go ahead and do it just like we did before, but now it's gonna get a little bit tricky because now we have all the bent here and so we can't lay it flat. So I'm gonna pick this up, right? And we're going to tape that underneath. So make sure this is nice and tight, right? And then you can press down, okay? And as you can see, you can't see the blue painter's tape on the through the poster board. So now we're gonna do the same thing over here. I know, this is covering everything up. So what we want to do, again, is to put it up. Whoops, that's too high. Too high. So we're going to do that. And I really do recommend that you cut these straight across so that you are able to have nice, neat edges. All right, I'm going to lift this up. So this is the tricky one. It's trickier than the first one. There we go. Huh? We need to move that over just a tiny bit because we don't want any gaps. So I'm going to pull this to the edge to make it a little bit easier for me to pull around. There we go. And then we're just going to make that nice and tight. Okay. So now I'm using a studio light to light my video here, but we're going to be using this light in order to light your people. And you know what? I think that we actually don't need the kneader's tape. So hold on to that for later time if you do actually purchase it. So let me show you a couple of things about what we're going to do here. So throughout the course, we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of different things, but you can use round objects so that we're going to be photographing like the roll of painter's tape. So don't put that in the garage or in your toolbox. Make sure you hold on to this. You can also get a ball or even a like a Christmas ball. Okay, and then look how cool this is going to be with our little family. So here's Dad. Here's Mom. There's Mom. And here's the kid. So as you can see, we're going to be able to learn how to pose people and learn about aperture and focus and all that good stuff, just using this very simple setup. And of course, your light, which is going to help light. You're going to learn about light and how it can wrap around, or you can have it harsh or really, really soft. And we're going to be working with that. It's going to be so much fun. Anyway, if you have any questions about how we've done this, please feel free to give me a call, 240-766-8966, or you can email me at Megan, M-E-G-A-N, at honeybeephotography.com. That's Megan at honeybeephotography.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to working with your children. Please don't make this yet. We're going to be constructing these on our first class. Thank you so much, and I hope you're having a great day. Looking forward to it. Bye now.